This is a video by Richmond. Today we're working on a Toyota Tercel. This happens to be a 1992 model, and we're going to be changing the timing belt today. The first thing you need to do is get the vehicle up in the air on jack stands, and you want to remove the right tire wheel assembly. Now, after we remove the tire wheel assembly, we need to remove this splash panel right here. It's held on by two 10mm head bolts and two 10mm head nuts. Next, we need to loosen this 12mm headed bolt on the alternator, slide the alternator back, and remove the accessory belt. Next, we need to remove this vacuum switch right here. It's held on by one 12mm headed bolt. And just position that out of the way. Next, we need to remove the 19mm headed bolt that secures the pulley to the motor. Now the pulley should just come off. There it is. Slides off nice and easy. Now while you're down here, you can remove this 10mm head bolt on the cover, and right there, that 10mm head bolt. Remove that. Next, we need to remove this 10mm head bolt, this one, and over here, this one, and that one right there. Right there. We need to remove those cover bolts now. Next, we need to remove these two 12mm head nuts that secure the valve cover on. Now, after you get those nuts off, there are little sealed washers underneath them. Just twist them out. There's one, and we want to do that to the other one over here also. Now, once you got those little seal washers out of the way, you can lift up on the valve cover and remove the end cover. And that's the top cover. And now we can get in here and remove the bottom cover. And there it is. Now, to remove the belt, there is a 12mm headed bolt that secures the tensioner. Loosen that, slide the tensioner over, and tighten the bolt back up. Now you can see this one right here is totally trashed. So I think it needed a belt. Now it looks like what accelerated the wear on that belt was oil coming out of the crankshaft seal. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull that pulley and replace the crankshaft seal behind there. And the seal is right back there. And we're going to pull that out now. Now, to get that crank seal out, take a screwdriver and put a little tape on it right there. And be very careful you don't scratch the diameter of the crank and the bore that the seal goes into. And there's the seal. Okay, we're ready to put the seal in. Now what I've done is oiled the inside of the seal and the outside of the seal. Okay. Now, I've made myself a piece of PVC pipe. It's a 1.5 inch diameter, and I'll use that to drive the seal home. Now we want to be flush with the housing right there. There isn't much room here. Okay, what do we got here? Alright, we're almost there. Okay, there she is. Nice and flush, all in. Now before you put your belt on, take a good look at your idler pulleys and make sure they don't have any play or roughness, and if they do, now's the time to replace them. Now to line up your crank pulley, look for this little groove right in the pulley and line it up with this little boss right there. Now when you line up the cam pulley, make sure that the 3E is up about 12 o'clock, and if you look through the hole, you'll see the dimple in the case. Now I just slipped the belt on, and you want to have all the tension towards the front side of the belt. This is where all the tension should be, and the back will be a little loose, and the tensioner bolt, you want to move the tensioner all the way to the left and then tighten the bolt. And now once we're into this position, we can release the bolt and rotate the engine 2 times over. Now make sure after you rotate the crankshaft 2 revolutions that the 3E is up at 12 o'clock here, and you look through the hole and you can see the dimple, and make sure that mark down on the crank lines up, and tighten the bolt on the tensioner, and that's it. That's all there is for the adjustment. Now it's just a matter of putting the covers back on, putting the pulley back in, your belts, and the check your valve cover gasket. You might need a new one. This particular one had a recent one, so we're not worried about that. And that's it. That's all there is to replacing your timing belt and your crankshaft oil seal on your Toyota Tercel.